Hey Taylor Army, welcome back to another episode of All Things Taylor on yours truly's YouTube channel. So I've had a crazy day, guys. I had a super kick-ass workout with no gym required. I did a lot of really cool things. I had some amazing opportunities come up that I can't wait to share. All in due time. And I saw a really cool episode of Talks with Taeler Hendrix based around wrestling. And it will feature Sean Ross Sapp and exclusively on russosbrand.com airing tomorrow. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about so much stuff, like with what's going on currently in wrestling, the pandemic, stuff that's been good, stuff that's been bad in wrestling, and all kinds of really cool stuff. And one of the issues we are going to bring up is Kylie Rae leaving the wrestling business. And so that's kind of where I want to take this quick little video vlog. Kind of in that direction and say with redundancy that I've said over and over on my Twitter, my Instagram, my YouTube channel here, and definitely my blog is when presented with a choice, choose to be kind. Choose to be kind. You do not need to be a billionaire to be kind, and you don't need to be poor in order to understand the value of being kind. Like, it costs $0 to be kind. Just be kind. That doesn't make you a wuss. It makes you strong as F, because it's super hard. I know personally, and guys, just take my word for it. I know. When you want to punch somebody in the face because you know they are just a disgusting, despicable excuse for a human being, but you have to be kind to them, that's so hard. It's so hard. You can't fight hate with hate, and you can't combat hate with more hate. Hate only gets more hate. So just do the right thing. Doing the right thing is always the right thing to do, and part of that is being kind. Be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, and be kind to others. It doesn't mean that you have to be buddies with everybody, because a friend of everyone is a true friend of no one. And I learned that. I learned that lesson very well. And that brings me to the Kylie Rae situation. Now, there's been no specifics, but I have a few ideas about it and about stuff that's happened and stuff. And what I want to say is, as fans, I just want you guys to understand that there is so much that goes on behind the scenes that you guys have no idea about. None. And it's done like that on purpose. They don't want you to know, because then, that mystique and that power that they have over other people in the industry is gone, because it becomes exposed within seconds on social media. And we saw that firsthand in 2020, if you catch my drift. But with that being said, something should be brought to light, and it all starts with being kind. You don't have to think a wrestler's talented in order to be kind to them. And wrestling, it's a competitive sport, but it's also performance art. There's characters and glitz and glam and all kinds of really amazing moments and stuff that can be created, but just spread love, not hate. Promote what you love instead of what you hate. There's different flavors of ice cream for a reason. I genuinely do not like mint chocolate chip, but does that mean I'll hate you if you like mint chocolate chips? Absolutely not. I want to see people succeed. Even if I don't like somebody, my personal philosophy is like what I think Tupac said, just because I lost you as a friend doesn't mean I think you're my enemy, and I still want to see you eat, just not at my table. And honestly, I don't care if I have to build my own darn table. I'll do it, and I'll sit by myself. I've done that before. I'll do it again. I'm not afraid. But the reason why I say these things is because there's so much bullying that goes on in the business, and whether that's from other workers, promoters, bookers, or fans, at the end of the day, it all weighs on a person. It affects people's work. It affects, people's home lives, self-confidence. It can affect your very core as who you are as a human being. And that's what bullying does. And it's like 5% of us as adults felt what bullying was like as a kid. So why are we doing that as adults? I'm like cold because I'm so passionate about what I'm talking about, and because I've been there. It's like, when bullying and trolling happens, it's like people want to find out, where you live. They send death threats and they threaten your family. So not only are you trying to keep yourself safe. Then you have to start worrying about your family. Then you have to be worrying over your shoulder, or it affects your performance. It affects your self-confidence. It seeps into every part of your environment. So, things like Kylie Rae, it doesn't need to happen. Ashley Massaro doesn't need to happen. Hannah Kimura doesn't need to happen. There's so much that didn't need to happen. So maybe we should start learning from mistakes. So that's why I'm saying, when presented with a choice, choose to be kind. Choose to be kind. That is like the biggest thing I can say. And Sean Ross Sapp and I will go into further detail on my podcast tomorrow, because it's like, as someone who's wrestled more than half their life pretty much, it's kind of know a little bit about what I'm talking about, So I just want people to choose to be kind. You don't need a blue check mark to earn respect. Wrestlers should respect fans, and fans should respect wrestlers, because you guys need each other to have a business. If people weren't paying to see wrestling, like, eventually there would be no business. So we need each other. But there also needs to be a boundary, obviously. But that boundary doesn't have to be with condescension. It should be a boundary of respect, and also, too, learning to stick up for other people without any sort of agenda or design. I'm not best friends with Kylie Rae, but we have no issues with each other. So I, as a person, can honestly say, like, hey, this was her decision. She needed to do it for a reason, because after all, you have to look after yourself, because if you are not okay, your art is not going to be okay, your self-confidence is not going to be okay, and you deserve, as a person, to be able to give your best into something that you love. And Kylie Rae genuinely loves pro wrestling. She is a woman like myself. We love pro wrestling. We love wrestling. We want to wrestle. Okay. And when you have that sort of love and passion, you want to give your all to it. You want to be the best that you can be in it, because you love it and because you respect it. And so what I want to say is, someone making the decision to walk away from the business, whether it's permanently, indefinitely, or even just, for a time so they can get better, it takes a lot to push someone to do that. So when you think about the business, try to do better. Try to be better. Whether you're a worker, booker, promoter, or a fan, it doesn't matter what sort of connection you have with the business. Just do better and be better, because maybe the stuff like Kylie Rae needing to leave to work on things, maybe that doesn't need to happen. I've never known anybody who got into wrestling because they hated it. Oh, I hate wrestling, so I'm going to do that as an adult. Like, that's so stupid. Nobody says that. It makes no sense. And that's kind of what I wanted to say, is that just be kind. Choose to be kind. You have a choice. You're making a conscious choice to bully somebody. You're making a conscious choice to ruin something that someone loved. And I'm not saying that's the case, because, there hasn't been any direct details, but I have suspicions. And so that's something I want to say, is just be kind. I've experienced firsthand what the bullying can be like, and it is out of this world. But I've been very fortunate to come out on the other side and have a fan base that I never imagined would be possible for me after all the negativity I went through. And it made me a better person. If you can come out of hell on the other side, like, to me, that makes your wounds and your scars beautiful, because those scars showed that you were wounded and you healed. And to me, that's like one of the most powerful things in the world, And for me, I'm going after everything I've ever wanted, and I want more people to feel that they can do that too. It doesn't matter your age, your race, your gender, your ethnicity. I don't even care what your religion is. I just want you to succeed as a person and do good things in the world. And Kylie Rae deserves that as well. So that's what I hope, is that people start being a little bit more kind day by day and by day, because we all have the ability to do great things in this world, and we all have the same 24 hours every single day. The only thing that changes is how we choose to use it. And there's a lot of people out there that choose to use it for bad instead of for good. So, with great power comes great responsibility. So, just choose to be kind, because I want to see more people coming into the business, making it a better place. Like Mickie James once said to me, her and I spoke at Shimmer a long time ago, and, we were both talking about how we want to make the business better than how we came into it. And that for me doesn't just stop with the business. I want to make the world better than how I came into it too. So I hope you guys will remain on that journey with me for all its crazy ups and downs and twists and turns and corkscrews and everything else, and make this the best roller coaster ride of life that we can possibly imagine. So until next time.